would like to take this opportunity to congratulate MPMA for organizing this conference, which will highlight the latest development in the plastic industry, covering various topics such as circular economy, recycling trend and technologies, and smart manufacturing.
This is how we do the measurement on the true ore part. And I believe in this plastic industry, we also have a lot of dimensions that we need to check.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MPMA Plastech Month 2025 webinar entitled Next Gen Blown Film Solutions. My name is Crystal and I will be your MC this afternoon. The Plastech Month 2025, organized by MPMA, is a month-long virtual conference that continues the momentum started in 2021. Under the theme Shaping Tomorrow's Plastics, from Advanced Materials to Smart Processes, the 2025 edition brings together global and local industry experts via a curated series of 7 webinars on topics such as smart manufacturing, advanced materials, recycling, circular economy, automation, and regulatory compliance. It aims to drive sustainability and innovation across the plastics value chain, responding to both market challenges and environmental imperatives. Before we begin the webinar, I would like to share a few quick housekeeping rules. Firstly, we have muted microphones and turned off cameras so that the speakers can present without interruptions. If you have questions, please drop them in the Q&A box. Our speakers will respond to questions that are clearly written and related to the presentation. The Q&A box is not for promoting products or services, and kindly do not comment on other participants' questions. The box is just for presentation-related queries. Finally, the organizers may remove any participant who does not follow these guidelines. Thank you for your kind cooperation. The MPMA Plastech Month 2025 is proudly presented to you by MPMA with the generous support of our sponsors from the Malaysian plastics industry. A big thank you to all of them as follows. Our gold sponsor, Petronas Chemicals Group Berhad. Our silver sponsors, Alliance Bank Malaysia Berhad, Arbuk Sendirian Berhad, Control Union Malaysia Sendirian Berhad, Clariant Singapore Private Limited, Data Color Asia Pacific Hong Kong Limited, Angle, ExxonMobil Chemical Malaysia Sendirian Berhad, Fangsheng Machinery Company Limited, Haitian Huayuan Singapore Private Limited, Kohley Printing and Converting Machines Private Limited, Mahki, Monitor ERP Systems Southeast Asia, Tederick Machinery Company Limited. Other sponsors include Janoshka Malaysia Sendirian Berhad, Kampf Jagenberg Group, Mehro, and Reifenhäuser Asia Pacific Company Limited. Thank you to all our sponsors for making the MPMA Plastech Month 2025 possible. Before we begin, I would like to now request our moderator for today, Ms. CYV, together with our speakers, to turn on their videos for us to take a group photograph. Mr. Nicholas Yap, are you there? Are you able to turn on your video? As well as Mr. Marcel Bauer. Mr. Nicholas Yap, are you there? Hello, Mr. Nicholas Yap, are you there on the line?
Maybe not yet, Crystal.
Yeah, then shall we wait till he's online, then we do the group photograph then?
We can take one now, then later
Okay.
before we can take another one. Huh?
Okay, all right. So get ready with your smiles. 3, 2, 1. Another one, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much to all the speakers and moderator. So with that, let me introduce our moderator for today's session, Ms. CYV. As the Managing Director of Chonghua Plastics Sdn Bhd, she has more than 30 years of experience in the plastics industry, supporting her company and customers through various packaging evolutions. As the Vice President of MPMA and Chairman of MPMA's Sustainability Subcommittee, she is a strong advocate on plastic sustainability and has spoken on numerous prestigious platforms and events. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our moderator, Ms. CYV. Ms. Wee, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Good morning and good afternoon to everyone, depending on where you are joining us from. Thank you for joining us today for Plastech Month 2025 session on Next Gen Blown Film Solutions. I'm delighted to be your moderator. We have an engaging program lineup featuring expert speakers who will share insights on latest technologies to enhance performance of the film extrusion processes and products. Here is our session today. We will start with advanced corona treatment technologies for blown film extrusion and other process, then followed by next-gen automation for blown film extrusion. 4 o'clock, we will have elevating film performance with exit flow performance polyethylene, redefining what's possible. At 4:30, we will discuss a topic on boost your performance in film extrusion. And finally, we plan to wrap up by 5 o'clock with a group photo and a poll, followed by closing. So let's get started. Our first speaker is Mr. Armando Menucci, Managing Director of Mero SPA, who is bringing over his 25 years of leadership in engineering, technical management, and international business development to all of us today. Trained as an electronic engineer from the University of Pisa, he previously served as Mero's sales manager and as technical director at Pastificio Menucci SPA. Today, he will be sharing insights on advanced corona treatment technologies for blown film extrusion and other processes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Armando Menucci. Mr. Menucci, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. I have to share my... Can you see my video?
It is
put
not
on
full
presenters mode.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I can start.
Yes, please.
So, good morning to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Armando Menucci. As I was introduced, I'm the Managing Director of the company Mero. And I will be presenting today our solutions for corona treaters, especially for blown film lines and the converting lines. First of all, just to start, a few words on Mero. Mero is a company located in Tuscany, in Italy, in Tuscany, more precisely close to Pisa and Florence. And we are a company established in 1963, so we have more than 60 years of experience in producing corona treaters. We have been the second first producing corona treaters in the world, so we have a long experience about that. We do, our main product is corona treatment, of course, but we also do atmospheric plasma treaters, which is a sort of corona treaters with some chemical differences suitable for particular substrate that needs a different treatment, or in case you want the real high treatment levels. And so we do this atmospheric plasma treater, and we also do vacuum plasma treaters. So plasma treaters that are used inside the metallizing machine to make metallized films. And we have also a third product, which is induction sealers, which are used. They are machines that are used in the filling industry for plastic containers. We are a company, as you can see from the slide here on the screen, that we are extremely export-oriented. Only less than 10% of our installations are in Italy. The rest is Europe and, of course, outside Europe. We work with end users, and we work, of course, a lot with OEMs like other corona treater manufacturers. And in particular, we are a supplier of in the field of B-orientated film, BOPP, BOPT. We are the supplier of Bruckner Maschinenbau in Germany, which is a market leader around the world. And in extrusion in general, we are working with the most important players like WNH, Reifenhäuser, SML, Collines, Bandera, Maki, and also some Asian companies, like some important Asian companies in China, which they produce big number of cast film lines. And of course, we work a lot with OEMs in the converting industry, because converting industry is getting more and more important. In this case, we are a supplier of, again, Bobst and UTEC, Honor Meccanica, WNH, so the most important players as well. Very briefly, I go through other slides which indicate what type of corona treater for which application we manufacture. As you can see on the slide, we manufacture solutions for all these applications. So for all the applications in the plastic film industry. So the most important for us, as I told you, is bio-orientated lines. But more and more important is becoming converting application. And of course, like always, blown film and cast film. We have a couple of tables which indicate, for example, on bio-orientated lines, what we can supply. So on the left, we have a application for BOPP film. On the right, we have application for BOPT polyester film. So you can see that the width go from 8.2 to 10.5 for BOPP, and there will be next year the first new 12-meter biggest line ever built in the world. We will deliver it next year. So the powers that you can see on BOPP are quite high, because normally on a 10-meter line we install 250 two generators of 125, so 250 kilowatt power on each side of BOPP. On the table on the right, you can see examples for BOPT polyester, and of course here the widths are more or less the same, but the powers are lower, because polyester is much easier to treat than polypropylene. But now let's focus on the main topic of today, which is the corona treater for blown film lines. And we have a solution, a very clever solution for blown film line, quite different from what we see on the market from other competitors. So we have I described it briefly. We have two strong lateral sides. Inside the lateral side, we have number 2 hoods containing the electrodes, and the two corona rods. The philosophy is to have the corona rods in a fixed position, and to move the hoods containing electrodes, so automatically. So we open the hoods for webbing up, and we close them when we work and we go under discharge. The corona rolls are in aluminium normally, covered in silicone sleeve or vulcanized silicone rubber, and quite rarely, very rarely, I would say, for blown fill lines, we also have done some application with ceramic coating for the corona rolls. For what concern the electrode, most of the times the electrodes on a blown fill line are segmented electrodes. So we supply segments of 5, 10, 20 millimeter, or even 3 millimeter under special request. And we use segmented electrodes because most of the times on the blown fill lines you need to avoid the treatment in some special areas of the web. So you need a segmented electrode. Going a little bit more in details, I described the most important feature that characterize our corona station for blown fill line. One of the most important is the possibility for the electrode to swing away, to swap and move away from the corona roll if hit by thick parts, hard parts, or knots coming from the die. This is a very important feature of the system because it means that you will never have an electrode that can be ruined or bent by these thick parts coming from the die. So this is very important because if you bend an electrode on a corona system, it means that you lose the uniformity of the gap, or the air gap. The gap, I remind that the air gap is the distance between the electrode and the film, and this distance must be very, very precise and uniform in a corona system. Otherwise, you don't have a uniformity of the treatment level on the width. So it's very important not to bend the electrode, and we have systems 30 years running that they have original electrode still straight, perfect, like the first day of a job, because of these characteristics to move away. So this is a very important feature. Another very important feature is the stability of the gap, because stability of the gap means that you don't lose the gap. What does it mean? It means that if with our system you set the gap with the cold machine, and you are sure that once the machine goes in operation under discharge, so the temperature of course increase because due to the corona discharge, you have the guarantee that the gap will remain exactly the same. So you do not lose the gap with our system, and this is possible because we have a special design. Don't forget that we're coming from the big lines, the 10-meter lines, and we bring the same philosophy also on the small lines like treated for blown fill lines. And the philosophy is to have a special design with the possibility to expand free to all the mechanical parts inside on the electrode and on the support of the electrode. So in this way, when the temperature increases, the gap remains perfectly uniform. So this is another very, very important characteristics. So you can see some drawings and some graphs where it is described what I told you before. And from a picture here, you can see a close picture of the segments on the right side. The springs that I described to you before that give the possibility to the system to move away. when there is a thick part coming from the die, and the big resin insulator in the background that you can see. Another very important characteristic is the way we set the segments. This is absolutely it's fundamental because we are the only one having a mechanical stop for setting the segments. So what happens is that the operator change the pattern of the segments. Once he has done that, once he has decided which segments will discharge and which segments will not discharge, it will block everything mechanically. And this is a guarantee that no matter if you produce for 2, 3, 4, 5 years continuously with the same format, you will have the guarantee that at the end of the process, after days of production, the pattern of the segments will remain absolutely the same. So no surprise that some segments has fallen down. They have you will have exactly the same pattern, which means this means zero waste and no surprise at the end of the running process, because of this mechanical stop system, blocking system that we have. We are sure 100% that we can guarantee this. Other competitors, they use to set the segments by gravity, or by two lateral springs that compress all the packs of segments together. But this is absolutely a system not 100% safe like our system. And this makes a great difference, because at the end of the day, especially if you run for a long time, you don't want to throw away some film because 2-3 segments has gone back in a wrong position, and you don't get the treatment that you want along the width. So this is a very important. I go a bit more ahead, where I show a close view of the segments in a working position and not working position. And this is a view from one side of the Corona station, and of course we are talking of double side Corona station. So this in a few words, I have described some features which really make a difference for a blown film process, and they are very important. But of course, it's not only the station that is important for the process, but of course we have to speak about electronic generators, because the generator is the heart of the system. If you have a breakdown of the generator, it means a shutdown of the blown film lines. So the reliability of the generators is a big part of the game. It's fundamental. We make generators from many sizes of generators, from the smallest one, which is 1 kilowatt. We go up with several different sizes, up to 125 kilowatt, which is the biggest we manufacture. And as I told you before, these 125 kilowatt, they are generators we use on BOPP 10 meters line. The most important characteristics of Mero generators is for sure the reliability. Reliability for us is a must, because of course we are coming from the experience on the big lines, and on big lines of 10 meters, we're producing 50,000 tons per year of 25 micron BOPP film. A line like that cannot stop for a breakdown, shutdown of a Corona treatment. So reliability is really top, must be absolutely a must. And we guarantee this reliability for many reasons. Of course, because we use the most updated and reliable components that you can find on the market. We use to over-dimension components in order to guarantee a longer life of the system. And which is more important is the design of the circuit, the self-protection system that you design around the power components. And this is the most important feature that allows to have high resistance in case high voltage, in case of high voltage discharge. You know, when you have a hole in the corona roll, or you have a lot of humidity and dust inside the corona station, you occasionally you can have high voltage discharge, and these events, high voltage discharge events, are very traumatic for the power components, and they have to be handled in a perfect way. Otherwise, you risk to break down the power components. Then, if you break down the power components, it means, of course, a shutdown of the equipment. So this makes the difference. So how you design the self-protection system. Then we have some other features which characterize Mero in a singular way. And for example, the high voltage transformer, we manufacture and design it and manufacture ourselves, because we could buy it on the market, but we do not want to buy it on the market because it's a very critical part for a corona system, and it has to be specifically designed for high frequency and high voltage. Then we have a different philosophy from the others. So we keep the voltage transformer inside the cabinet of the generator in order to have a cleaner design. And we can do it because we have a special cable, power cable from the voltage transformer to the electrode, that is also in this case is manufactured by us. It's not bought on the market. The old system has got a PLC inside and a touch panel, that user-friendly touch panel that give the possibility to visualize all the electrical characteristics, and gives the possibility to run the system in many different ways of managing the power. The most important, and this is the feature we recommend to the way of management that we recommend to use in blown film line, is the managing of power through the setting of the corona dose. So in other words, you set the corona dose, which is the parameter that gives you the guarantee of a certain treatment level on a certain type of film, and the system, our corona generator, keeps it strictly constant, no matter if there is a change in speed of the film, or there is fluctuations of the power coming from the net in some, especially in some extreme areas in the world. It can happen. So it's important to be able to manage these fluctuations and have the corona dose strictly constant. So this is a slide where we can show all, more or less, not all the sizes we manufacture, but almost all of them. So we start from the left with the small generators for blown film lines and converting lines. Then we have the medium generator for cast film applications, and on the right, the big generators for BOPP film. Even if it's not a topic of today, just a few words on corona treatment for the application of cast film lines. We are market leader in this particular application, because it's not by case that all the big 7 meters line cast polypropylene 7 meters line around the world are all equipped with Mero corona treaters. Here we show an example of single side bottom corona systems. As you can see, the structure and the design is completely different from a design of a corona treater for blown film line, because the power to be delivered on a cast film lines, of course, is much higher. So we we go from 20, 25 kilowatt up to even 90 kilowatt on the 7-meter lines. So you need to use different electrodes, bigger electrodes, and bigger corona roll. So the electrodes are in stainless steel. I will show you later on a following slide. And the corona roll, of course, it's much bigger in diameter than the corona rolls we use for blown film lines. It's vulcanized silicone rubber, but it can be also coated with ceramic, isolated ceramic in alternative. What is important is the corona roll has to be driven with the motorization, has to be cooled by water. And of course, the diameter must be a diameter suitable for not heating up and allow the power, the big power that is involved to not to heat up the surface coating of the roll too much. So another feature that characterizes the treater for cast is the use, which is absolutely mandatory, of a pressure roll, nip roll, because the backside treatment is particularly on CPP lines is particularly critical, and you have to use a pressure roll, and you have to do it with the proper characteristics. Otherwise, you risk to have backside treatment. Regarding the electrodes, as I told you before, they are completely different from the segmented electrodes we use in in blown film lines, and these are the same electrodes we use for the big lines, 10-meter lines. So they are in stainless steel electrodes, and they are in stainless steel, these electrodes, and they are specifically designed to allow a free expansion of all the elements in a way that, again, you do not lose absolutely the gap, which is a must, which is a very important characteristic on a corona treater, especially if you have to guarantee a gap of 2 millimeters on a 5, 6, 7, 10-meter line. Okay, we have talked about treated for cast film lines. Now we focus on let's say, the second topic of today, which is the corona treated for converting lines. So when I say converting lines, I mean corona treated for printing lines, flex or autogravure, laminating machines, extrusion coating machines, or coating lines in general. So here we recommend the use of a completely different corona system, where the dielectric, the concept is reversed. So we bring the dielectric on the electrodes, and so we do not have the dielectric on the roll as on the extrusion lines. Why?
Apologies, Mr. Menucci.
Sorry?
Yeah, apologies. Sorry for interrupt. You have about 2 minutes more. If you could wrap up soon. Thank you.
Okay. So we reverse the concept and we bring the dielectric on the ceramic bars, on the electrodes, as I told you. So we use the ceramic bars design. So the most important characteristics of these ceramic bars is a special profile that it belongs to Mero, and we are the only ones that can use it. Then we have given a system a string resistance to for the ceramic bars to the impact that is coming from the film, from the splice or from the film itself. Then we have a very, very important characteristic that I will show you later. It's a very easy system for changing the broken ceramic bars. And last but not least, the possibility to adjust in a very fine weigh their gap. So we can see from this slide, we can see the profile that I told you before. So this is a design, a Mero design. So we have a special channel on top of the profile where we put some aluminum inserts inside that link the ceramic bar to the main structure, to the main support. And this is a specific design. We only have it. It's only Mero that has got this design. This design gives the possibility to have high resistance to impacts, but even more important, it gives the possibility to change what we call quick change system, to change a broken or two broken ceramic bars in a very fast way. So you have to slide laterally, simply slide laterally the broken ceramic bar and replace it with the new ceramic bar. So without very important, without touching again the gap. This is a very important issue because everyone can do it in an easy way. Even operators can do it. You don't need a mechanical, or you don't need a maintenance person. Also, the operator can do it, and it's very fast. It's a question of you open the panel laterally, and it's a question of 2 minutes. You change the bar. So this means no downtime for the line, or minimize at least downtime for the line. Then here in this slide we show how we can set the gap. There is a micrometric adjustment that allows to have a very fine adjustment, more precise than 0.1 millimeter. And this is very important because on a ceramic bar system, the gap, the uniformity of the gap, and the precision of the gap is very, very important. Otherwise, you risk not to have ununiform treatment along the width. This is very, very, very important. Very quickly, we can design a ceramic bar system with whatever ceramics you want. So it can be 5, 6, 7, 20 ceramic bars. Here is an example with 5 ceramic bars. It's a typical design we do for flexo printing machines, for example, running at 350, 400 meters per minute. Here, instead, we have an example of a much bigger Corona station with 21 ceramic bars. So this is a classic installation that we use for extrusion coating for aseptic packaging, for liquid packaging. And because the speed is can be 600, 700, 800 meters per minute, so the power that you need to discharge is high, and consequently the number of ceramic bars must be, of course, related to the power that you want to discharge. Very important, I would like to spend a few words regarding our customer service organization. We make service from Italy. We have 12 technicians traveling all around the world, and we make service from an office in Shanghai. We have an office in Shanghai, a big office, where we do sales and service for China, of course, and for the Southeast Asia. And so we follow the Far East market from the Shanghai office, which is run by an Italian person, Maurizio Dalleluca, which is with us since more than 30 years. He has got a big experience on Corona treaters. So for us, the service possibility to give a good and fast service is fundamental. Our customers like it, but not only, we have the possibility to we have availability of spare parts for even generators, Corona systems 30 years old. So this is very much appreciated from our customers, because they know that even if they have an old system, they will be assisted and they will receive a good spare parts service from Mero. So this is my conclusion. I thanks everyone for your attention. I hope that the explanation has been interesting for all of us. I'm here to answer your question if you have some questions. Thank you for the moment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manucci, for enlightening us on the new advances and the important characteristics to look for, in a corona treater. I'm sure everyone agree that we wish we have more time to listen to you, but we are also running a bit late on the timing. But thank you for sharing all the technical characteristics that we need to watch out for. So I do not see any questions yet on the chat. Perhaps because we are running a bit late, I would like to proceed to the next speaker. While if there's any question, please feel free to put it on the chat box. Mr. Manucci will still be with us, right? And can answer directly on the chat box. All right. Thank you, Mr. Manucci.
Thanks to all of you. Thank you. See you later.
All right. Our next speaker is Mr. Marcel Boudet, Technical Sales Manager of Windmoller and Holscher. He holds a master's degree in mechanical engineering and business administration with a focus on plastics processing and has been with Windmoller and Holscher since 2014 as a technical sales manager for blown film technology. Based in Langerich, Germany, he combines strong technical expertise and industry experience, including his time spent with a leading stretch hood machine manufacturer, to support customers across Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Australia, and New Zealand. Today, he will be sharing next-gen automation for blown film extrusion. Let's welcome Mr. Marcel Boudet.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon from Germany to Malaysia and all around the world. I hope the sharing works and you can see my presentation right now.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for the feedback. So, as mentioned during the introduction, the topic I will cover is next generation automation for blown film extrusion. But why is automation so important? First of all, because 70 to 80% of the total film cost is coming from the resin price itself. Automation will help saving the most expensive part of this process. But what if we ask you, our customers, what are the biggest challenges to you? So actually we have asked blown film customers, and the most named challenges have been struggling to find operators running the lines, smaller and more individual jobs leading to more changeovers, and the difficulty to ensure consistent film quality, especially when you think about different ambient temperatures during night and day shift, common theme in Malaysia. So there are three distinct situations present when thinking about the operator's daily task and the corresponding challenges. This is startup, product change, and good production. So our automation products assist the operator in mastering his job, tailored to the context and challenges, so exactly when it's needed. We do have Turbo Start for very fast, easy, and safe machine startup. We do have easy to change for repeatable, easy, and very efficient job changes. And our newest version or our newest automation is easy to run, a system for automatic wrap-up to the highest output and ensuring constant high quality when running the blown film line. So let's start with Turbo Start, already available for W&H lines since K 2019 and therefore pretty much field proven. When we look at the machine startup today, it's a huge challenge for machine operator. Yeah, normally when I make the speak for face-to-face into the group, I will ask the question, yeah, how many slide changes the operator need to do when starting up a W&H line. So here you cannot reply, yeah, but I can tell you the answer is 61 slide changes on the HMI during the startup process. And question number 2 usually is, and how many buttons do you press during this startup procedure? The answer will amaze you. It's actually more than 600. We counted in our lab 646 buttons to press to fully start up the line from the very beginning until having a good production. But what does the operator need to do in between? And this is, we try to show this here on this slide. Yeah, first of all, when he really starts at 0, let's say the machine was shut down, then he needs to prepare a thread band because during the last stop there was no film left in the blown film machine. Yeah, he has to prepare this rope, this thread band, to make sure he can pull up the new bubble and correctly guide the film to the complete line around every idler roller. So then he can pull up the new bubble. Yeah, he has to blow up the bubble, but before that he maybe needs to lower the airing because it was lifted to clean the die lip before. Yeah. When he turned on the extruders, he needs to pull out the melt manually because it's still too thick in the beginning, and he has to pull it out and cut away too thick areas with a knife because these could damage the nip rollers. He fixes the melt to the band that I described, and now the bubble is slowly rising to the nip. When he achieved a more or less stable bubble, he can close the nip. Yeah, and then he blows it up to the required size. But what happens afterwards? The nip was open and now it's closed. So in almost all cases, air is entrapped inside, and after the nip. And this air can accumulate in front of the idle rollers and lead to defects. So the operator has to go upstairs, 15-meter tower, and cut out with a knife manually these air pockets. Afterwards, he goes down 10 meters of the tower, so he can go from tube to flat film. Yeah, he has to find the right product parameters, output, final thickness, turn on profile control until he reaches good film production. So wow, that's a lot of manual steps and time consuming as well. But how many buttons are necessary when adding turbo start automation to such a W&H line? This is our first highlight. With turbo start, the machine startup is reduced to only 7 buttons on one screen. 7 buttons, and the rest is done by automation. It almost sounds unbelievable when thinking about what I just explained, how many manual steps, how many buttons, how many slide changes are necessary. So let's see what the automation can do for us. No preparation of the thread band is necessary due to the integrated turbo stop function with reverse nip drive. No manual lowering of the airing is necessary. The system will run a stable bubble automatically. And all the right product parameters are coming as well from our recipe storage. But what about these manual tasks? Going up the tower and by hand cutting out air pockets and separate the tube to flat film? Is that really possible to automate? Yes. And that is our next highlight. The second highlight is shown in this animation, which I will start shortly. Yeah, and it shows what I tried to explain. After closing the nip, air pockets can accumulate in front of the iron rollers, here shown in red. And these air pockets move actually from roller to roller, leading to wrinkles, scratches, or flatness problems. So, as described, it's a must the operator goes upstairs, takes out his knives and cut little holes inside so the air can go out. And the animation now shows you what our engineered solution for that is. We added a small device just underneath the nip that moves across the bubble and slowly insert knives to create little holes where the air later can move out when these holes reach the area where the air entrapment is located. So internally, we sometimes like to call this device the woodpecker. Yeah. But to be honest, the name woodpecker does not show what kind of a game changer this really is. Your operators will love it when they do not need to climb up 15 meters in very hot and humid environments. So a lot of operators are struggling to separate the web, especially for thin film at high speed or when the films get a little bit sticky. And to be honest, as well here, the knife operation has the highest risk of injuries. So the conventional solution is the operator has to use a knife to open the tube and then can go inside with his hand and insert slitting knife. Yeah, he must be well experienced and trained to be able to separate the web even at medium speeds. So this animation now shows our highlight number 3, the web separation. Yeah, you see this 3D animation in the background, and on the bottom we try to show you a top view of what is actually happening here, because it's not super easy to understand. Yeah, you see we are making 2 cuts into the tube, which enables us to insert the right fingers. These fingers move the film away, yeah, and create an opening for the side slitting knives. And I will show it one more time. Yeah, the fingers move inside, create an opening for the side slitting knives. And then when the side slitting knives are inside, they actually can move to the outside of the tube slowly. And then the tube is opened and you can go to flat film production. So let's summarize how TurboStart enables efficient production by reducing waste and downtime significantly. It supports unexperienced operators in running best practices. It eases operation, and of course, it complies with increasing safety requirements by removing the need of knife handling by hand. I can tell you a lot, but what are our customers saying? So I brought you 2 customer statements. One from Polymer Packaging in the US, and they said, quote, "We didn't foresee the full effect of TurboStart. It's cut down on downtime by 5-fold. Now, regardless of the size of material, unscheduled downtime events are lasting only around 15 minutes. Let's have a look at what Wongpak in Thailand says. 1 operator and 10 minutes is all it takes to stop and start the Barracks 2 with TurboStart. We love to hear such feedback. And yeah, you maybe have seen in this little video animation how easy it looks, and maybe your operator even can drink a cup of coffee when starting the line. Just kidding. So let's move from TurboStart to easy to change, our next automation highlight, which have been presented during K 2022. And back then, we have asked operators, what are you thinking during a product change? All operators are individuals, and as well, every product mix in a company has its individual challenges. So yeah, we have heard a lot of stuff that is going on in the mind. Did I really close the Corona treatment? If you produce the first roll and then you find out later with a test pen that you didn't treat properly, you have produced a big waste roll. And one topic that is displayed here in red is that we have heard very frequently that one big pain point is the airing settings are not reproducible. So every operator had to set the airing settings by himself. So in this led WH to develop the Arctis 2, the first fully automated and motorized airing in blown film extrusion. All adjustments are now motorized, encoder controlled, and recipe integrated to enable every operator to repeat the so-called golden run, the best output run that the most experienced operator has done during an earlier campaign. So, and after testing and realizing the level of potential that this technology brings along, WH decided to deliver every new blown film line from 2023 onward with this airing concept as a standard. Easy to change, combines existing automation modules like purchases, easy change, profile booster, a material minimization, and cleverly integrates all of them into an intuitive software on the HMI and adds the ARCTIS 2 automated airing as well as 2 camera-based system for detection of bubble shape and frost zone height. Camera system? Yes, you have heard correctly. We enable the operator to get a digital eye to produce consistent film quality. This animation shows how the bubble is detected, how the shape of the bubble is detected by the camera system, and how the frost line is detected by the camera system. So the goal is to achieve and maintain consistent film properties, and therefore the frost zone or frost line is extremely important. And until now, this only depends on the individual operator's eye to see where exactly it is. And it's really difficult even after years of experience. And this new camera system, it removes the human factor further or reduces it. And as a result, you have a repeatable result independently from skill and intuition of the level of operator. So you see here the HMI, and analyzing a bubble has never been easier when using easy to change. You are having target settings for bubble shape and film pooling. And when this is reached, the system will give you a green arrow and notify you. As long as the film characteristics are not met, you get an orange explanation mark that some manual work is to do. At the end of a product change, the operators need to double check if all necessary adjustments have been made correctly. And here you see a lot of green arrows. For all measurable parameters, easy to change assists the operator showing these green dots all over to provide a quick and clear overview if the line is really ready to go into production without the risk of missing out any individual setting. And is it obvious or not? For example, still missing an additive like a UV stabilizer in the recipe, you cannot see with the eye, or running it at a wrong percentage, easy to change will show you this orange explanation mark beside the relevant extruder. It's not here in this screenshot, but it would be there if there's something missing. So the operator will not go into good production, and he will go back to the resin page and see where the problem is and what he needs to do. And then this extruder turns green as well. So this shows it's really difficult to make mistakes when using easy to change for product changes. And this, again, seeing is believing. These data is coming from our lab. We compared a normal experienced operator with a highly skilled colleague doing a product change on a conventional blond film line. Then we compared the results with a line equipped with easy to change. And the differences are pretty extreme. So taking the normal experienced operator as a starting point, this is the red bar here. We noticed that the higher skilled operator, of course, fulfills the task with less clicks, with less page turns, with less errors. The bluish, the dark bluish is the highly experienced operators. So that was somehow expected. But comparing any operator more or less skilled has no influence. Running a machine equipped with easy to change further reduced the necessary clicks and page turns heavily. And what is most impressive, eliminated all errors or mistakes that both operators still made on the non-automated line. So avoiding any mistakes. This is where the money lies. On top of avoiding mistakes, the time needed for a product change was minimized. in the end by more than 50%. And this means the amount of waste created was brought down to a bare minimum. And that is where the presentation started. What is the reason for good automation? It is to save time and resin and errors. So easy to change, our automated product change assistant target reached. So what happened during K 2025? We have presented easy to run. I have presented you the three distinct situations, and one is to maintain a consistent quality during the run. And this is done with easy to run, plus it can automatically ramp up to the highest possible output with this recipe that you try to run. But what is actually the problem? Why do you need easy to run? So on average, our customers are using less than 80% of the line's potential. So why is that? Machine limits are unknown. Fear of bubble break and restarting the line and fiddling in the web again. The fear of variation in film quality. Of course, dependence on operator skills, and often a safety buffer for external influences. Night shift, day shift, temperatures can, especially in countries like Malaysia, vary a lot. So simply because there are far more than 1,000 parameters that can influence your machine performance, and it is difficult to tune them to the maximum manually. I would like to invite you to join me on a hiking and climbing tour now to the maximum output of a recipe. So for different recipes, there are different ways to reach the maximum achievable output. So this is you or us, and we are climbing now on this hill to the top of the hill. This is our maximum output we want to achieve today. So, and when we have reached a satisfying height for a different recipe, you have different risk and potentials. But unfortunately, the extrusion process is complicated. So it is nearly impossible to distinguish how much potential is left and where are the real limits. So you cannot be 100% sure, because it's too cloudy. You cannot see if there's maybe even a higher peak somewhere here. The solution is easy to run. Easy to run bridges the gap between potential and performance and empowering the operator to consistently achieve optimum machine output with ease. So how is it doing this? It gives transparency about potentials. We see relevant modules visualized in a gauge and show how much percentage of reserve power they have. Maybe the airing blower, in this case, sorry for some German screenshots. In this case, there's 31% of air blower capacity still available. So with one press of a button, the automation can ramp up the output, but checking and controlling the bubble all the time, the frost line height all the time, the wobble, so how shaky is the bubble, so it's secure and safe, and as soon as you go above the maximum production output that is stable, the system will go down and tell your operators what was the maximum output. So plus when you have reached this maximum production output, you can turn on the frost line control, and the system will control and hold this frost line independently from any ambient temperatures and fluctuations. So the result is you are more profitable, it's easier to operate, it's very convenient to utilize. Often automation systems are very complex and operators don't like to use it. In the end, your whole production gets safer and more reliable. Coming back to our hike and climb. So this is you again without easy to run. you're assuming you're on the top of the good production hill. But then you see, yeah, having the transparency given by easy to run, you realize that there's a high level of performance possible. But how to get there now? Yeah, it is a very long journey to go down first and then go up again. Yeah, easy to run can build you an easy way to reach the real peak, the top of the highest good production, and will secure this with the Frostline controller. So to sum it up, yeah, our automation products assist the operator in mastering his jobs, tailored to context and challenges exactly when it's needed. And this means turbo start for startup process, easy to change for product change from A to B, and easy to run to find the maximum output peak automatically in a safe and secure way. So be ready for next gen automation, and thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marcel Boudet. Right, and that's the most amazing automation I've ever heard. And I'm sure everyone will agree that pain points that you mentioned are experienced by everyone the world over, especially for those of us in the extrusion. Do we have any questions? Maybe no. How about, I have one question for you, Mr. Boudet. This automation, I heard that the airing comes by default, in all your machine now. What about the others? The splicing, and the air entrapment, are those add-ons when you sell the machine, or it also comes?
Yes, very good question. Thank you. These modules are, of course, optional, because you can imagine there's a certain price tag to these automation features, because we have to build in additional encoders, additional stuff into the machine. Yeah, so there's a price tag. The good thing is we have a pretty nice return on invest on these automation modules, which we can, of course, calculate for every customer in the end of the day, specifically to his needs. And then we can decide, does it make sense to spend extra to make a bigger investment and have these automation modules? Yeah, or does it not make sense for this particular customer at the point? So it's an option.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much again for the interesting sharing. And we are going now to our third topic. Thank you very much, Mr. Boudet.
Thank you.
Our third speaker this afternoon is none other than Mr. Nicholas Yap, Market Development Manager of ExxonMobil Chemical Malaysia. I think we are all very familiar with Mr. Nicholas Yap. Mr. Yap has been with ExxonMobil for 7 years, working with the ASEAN team and value chain stakeholders to strategize go-to-market approach for industrial packaging and drive latest packaging innovations. He will be sharing with us today on elevating film performance with Exceed Flow Performance Polyethylene, redefining what's possible. So, Mr. Nicholas Yap, the floor is yours.
Yep. Thank you, Ms. V. So without further ado, let's go straight to my very first slide. For those who are aware, ExxonMobil, the world's largest polyethylene producer in the world. So we have continued just like the earlier presenter. So for those who are not aware,
Nicholas, you are breaking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's better, but just now it was like breaking up. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who are not aware, ExxonMobil actually does a rebranding a year ago. So we have rebranded all our portfolio into a single family called ExxonMobil Signature polymer. And the intent here is to really simplify the grade positioning to ensure that for those people across the value chain, once you see our portfolio, you will know how to place our solution into the respective shop of your products. Okay, so you can see over here, ExxonMobil signature polymer. We have series of portfolio, depending on where, when to meet your needs. Be it if you want a tougher film, be it you want a stiffer film, be it you want an easy processing resin for your day-to-day extrusion. So moving to the chart at the bottom left, you can see that in terms of film stiffness, toughness, is something that we're always very difficult to be balanced off. Okay. For example, ExxonMobil, we have a core portfolio. Just imagine core as a base of everything. So if you want a tough film, then this we do have a portfolio to fulfill your need. Tougher one, we do have stiffer one, we do have also. And often the one that will never be a balance will be our stiff plus, because toughness and stiffness is often to be balanced, and that's where back in 2016 we launched Axis Stiff Plus portfolio to ensure it will never be a balance, it will never be a compromise, but rather a need to be met. But if you look into the chart, we always talk about toughness, we always talk about stiffness, but one thing we always neglect, and we have been stressed on by the earlier presenter, was operator friendly. So this is where I would like to reiterate one of the portfolio that we have, and we have always been continuously innovating, which is Exit Flow, which is meant to be designed for processability. So to better illustrate the ease of processing, I have a chart at the bottom right to showcase it. So y-axis here is mechanical, x-axis here is processing. So we know that LDPE is there, being the oldest polyolefin ever exists in the world, is meant for processing. But if you really see in terms of the solution positioning of us, you can see that Exit Flow, as the name of the product family implies, is very close to LDPE, while at the same time offering a step up mechanical performance, which is value across the value chain, especially in the context of the ever-changing consumer needs. So that's where today I will be highlighting much more in terms of the product family or maybe solution offering that we have at present, which is Exit Flow. Okay, so as the name implies, Exit Flow, it delivers excellent processability, meaning excellent processability is something that very much valued by the operator, because that's where you are able to get the most out of the machine stably, ratably, and the yield of the film would be optimized as well. So that's where today, first, it will focus more on processing, and this subsequently delivered very much improved extrusion compared to the historical solution offering at the marketplace, and subsequently delivering a much more stable operation and better line output. Okay, moving on. So I would like to elaborate a bit more on beyond processing. Okay, so why processing is very much valued is because of operator friendly. And that's why historically LDPE, linear low density polyethylene, often blended with the existing solution in place to improve the processing. And of course, some other people having it in their formulation for optical properties. However, while very much need processing, we very much needing the optical, is often a compromise of mechanical. So that's where you can see the chart at the top right. Okay, you can see over here is dot impact. Okay, primary y-axis, secondary y-axis, empty tear with no surprises. If you have LDP increase in the dosage as it goes towards the right, the mechanical fell. That's because the oldest polyolefin family ever exists in the world. The intent is just for two purposes. One is processing, second is optical. But with ExxonMobil Exit Flow, it will never be a compromise anymore, because for this particular solution offering is a hexene-based metallocene catalyzed polymer, and it gives a step-up mechanical when it comes to being with LDPE and the rest of the polymer. So you can see over here, it offers a step-up compared to LDPE is because of the proprietary manufacturing technology that we had. That one of the criteria is to mimic the LDPE behavior, which gives the functional behavior of it, which is processing and optical. Okay, so these are our range of solution offering. You can see, okay, LDPE, as we all know, there are ranges of lower MI, as low as 0.3, as high as 2, 5, and so. So you can see here our solution offering here, pretty much we stretch across our manufacturing window to ensure we are able to meet the needs across the range of the linear low density polyethylene exists at the marketplace. And the MI density and the APAC are highlighted over here. So moving on, I will share a couple of examples that will be representative enough for your day-to-day production and gives you some thoughts on how can our ExxonMobil signature polymer, exit flow, be value adding to your day-to-day. So one example is as such, okay, let's assume that we have a solution, okay, at your factory that is coming with commodity, C4 and LD, the most conventional solution at the marketplace. Then have a fraction of exit flow in it. So you can see here with no surprise, okay, in terms of mechanical, it's something no need to be worried of because as said, it's a hexene-based metallocene catalyzed polymer. So mechanically, it's something that you do not need to be worried on. Okay, but as earlier, one of the reasons of LDP ever exists is because of processing. So that's where I prepared a processing chart over here with no surprises compared to the reference, okay, exists in the marketplace. The processing, melt temperature, motor load, melt pressure are of pretty much similar. So you can see here, this is a very classic example of how exit flow can offer a step up in terms of the mechanicals, as mentioned here, like MD10, 190%, dark puncture, 35%, while at the same time ensuring the day-to-day processing are not being compromised. Okay. So moving on is, okay, we do almost the same thing, but we try to do more with less. Because, you know, nowadays the era are more towards doing more with less, be it in the likes of down gauging to fulfill, like for example, ever reiterating EPR, okay, across the region globally as well. So for example, you can see here, okay, again, let's say we have a blend here, same gauge, again, mechanically, something do not need to worry, processing as well. But if we were to do a little bit more of doing more with less, you can see 20% lightweighting can still do better than the current incumbent at the marketplace. So this shows the possibility, first is to ensure the functionality of the resin in day-to-day production, which is processing, while at the same time gearing up to exceed, not just meeting the value chain needs. Okay. Okay. So earlier was the example of mono, okay, mono layer, because last year when we did the roadshow, a lot of questions asked what if mono, what we call X. Now the example is what if we do a little bit more towards a coax structure? Okay, so you can see here, this time we don't focus much more on processing because I taught 2 slides on processing. Next is on optical. So you can see here the example is what if you have a very classic solution here of your skin layer, and we just try to do a little bit of tweak. We interchange the LDP with exit flow. Okay, you can see over here processing again is something no need to worry, but optically you can see 50 and 100 micron. Okay, you can see this particular bar chart is gloss. The one in triangle shape is actually haze. So notably, from the trend points, you can see that exit flow gives better gloss, as you can see. The one in, I would say, a bit more on reddish color, better in terms of gloss, and the haze-wise is lower as well compared to the rest of the two, the triangle shape. Okay, so optical is somehow very much value depending on the segment that you are participating or the products that you're buying or the film you're buying if you are part of the value chain. So that's why lower haze is something very much value, gives enhanced product visibility, shelf appeal. Of course, glossy is something that depending on people, some people prefer glossy film, some people prefer matte film. So ultimately is to share that we have a solution to be ready with. Okay. So earlier I mentioned I shared a bit more on mono. Now is what if we change something in terms of the coax. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to share something is of considered a breakthrough. Past 6 months is something that we have been working a lot at. Is we have launched a new performance polymer exit flow, X1716, where it gives a breakthrough in terms of the optical and in terms of the film functionality. So just to give you a quick comparison based on what you are very used to, for example, LDP, okay, you compare against our one of our portfolio, optically is better. But now, okay, with the latest solution that we have within our ExxonMobil signature polymer, we push the limit with lower haze and higher gloss relative to our historical solution that we have had in the past. Okay, so you can see here, haze, okay, went down, gloss, it went up as our portfolio evolved year over year. Okay, moving on, I would like to share something with you. One of the very classic examples, but this was not much about optical. I've talked a lot about processing, optical. Now, let me focus a bit on one of the most valued film functionality of LDP, which is shrinkage, and also with much value in the shrink film. So this is one of a very good example I love the most because it's something that I work on my own. So you can see here, let's say if we have a 100 micron film, okay, this is a 12 times 1.5 pack size that you used to see at the marketplace, meaning 12 times 1.5 means it's 18 kilo. So 18 kilo loading, for it to hold it firmly isn't easy. But what about while holding it firmly wasn't easy, what about ExxonMobil push the limit with 20-30% down gauging? So this is, I have a short video just to demonstrate to you is, you know, sometimes for us to carry the bundle from one end to another, it's about film rigidity. The bundle stay rigid, stay integrity with no elongation. That's the bottom line film functionality for large bundle pack size. So you can see over here, 100 down to 70. Okay, you can see with 30% down gauging, the film functionality isn't compromised, yet we are able to reduce the LDP in it significantly with our Exit Stiff Plus 0238, which is one of our signature polymer proprietary, made by ExxonMobil signature proprietary manufacturing technology. So this is only possible with this particular solution because it's something that we innovate fit for purpose for collation shrink. Okay, you can see here, stay as it is, it doesn't elongate, and that writes well in terms of especially Malaysia, where we are trending towards from a paper carton towards collation shrink conversion. Okay, so moving on. So you can see here how ExxonMobil performance polymer, exit flow, and some other portfolio, we push the limit. Optic-wise, no need to worry, but at the same time, the film functionality is something very much valued, which is snug fit, stacking, where we have a lot of carton to shrink conversion, and no film elongation despite 18 kilo, which is one of the heaviest bundle in ASEAN actually. To be very honest, some other countries may not have the 18 kilo, but Malaysia is one of the countries that has the 18 kilo, and it's being done without tray with significant down gauging. Okay. Okay. Another last thing that I would like to share, which revolves around LDP, would be extra seal, where we all know that there will be LDP being used in coating process. Okay, in your day-to-day, you know that, let's say if in the morning you buy nasi lemak wrap, okay, you buy nasi lemak and you have wrap in place, right? Sometimes if you are looking into the detail enough, you will realize that there's a very thin polyethylene coating in it. Okay, without the coating, basically the gravy will just seep through, and actually it causes your, maybe if you from one end to another, it will just leak. Okay, so with this, okay, the LDP is being used as part of the coating for like 7 Nasi lemak wrap, or even to a certain extent for those who have midnight supper. You buy Ramly burger, you do see that there's a coating on the burger wrap as well. So what, in terms of how ExxonMobil signature polymer add values is we have a portfolio called Extra Seal 15018. So it's an MI15, okay, that gives a very efficient coating while at the same time offering a step up mechanical performance. Okay, because somehow you do not want your burger wrap or nasi lemak wrap to have leakage as you move your pack from one end to another, isn't it? So for this, it's just a very snapshot example. So for example, let's say if the reference is always LDPE, okay, 100%. And what if our solution is being incorporated in it? So you can see over here with no surprises, our solution mechanically, as said from the start, is something no need to be worried of because it's a hexene-based metallocene catalyzed polymer. So that's where you can see here across all mechanical aspect is something do not need to be worried. And sealing-wise is something don't need to worry. That's why you can see hot tag-wise is also okay relative to the incumbent original solution, which is LDPE. Okay. So again, just to reflect, with stronger coating layer, just imagine day to day you have a nasi lemak wrap and there's no leakage, and that's what you want as a consumer. Okay. Okay. So for more information, for more questions, I understand. It may sound very limited in terms of sharing, but I'm convinced that it's representative enough for further thoughts, and we can have more discussion. Okay, this is my email, and of course, we can together in my technical, we can together solve your pain points day to day. Okay. Yep. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicholas, for sharing those interesting application and some very smart idea in thickness reduction and increasing the haze and transparency. Okay. One question is, how about any application that we can use Exxon materials in a monolayer line? Like if some of us doesn't have a coax. I know coax is popular right now, but in a monolayer, and if we want to still improve the haze, the transparency, lower down the thickness, what are some of your experience with that?
Yep. So I think thanks, Ms. V. I think for this particular case, I think it's all down to innovation that we had in recent years. Like for example, earlier years, we have been very focused on coax development, but recent years, we have been very into monolayer also, because we understand everyone has different needs. Everyone has different asks from the business standpoint and different requirements to be met across the value chain. So it depends on the film functionality that you're looking at. First, for example, if you need a better mechanical film. So in the past, used to be very challenged. Now we have actually done a lot of synergy study that what kind of performance polymer within our signature polymer portfolio can fit into the synergy. Like for example, some of our portfolio very best fit with LDPE and HDPE synergy. Where in the past, we would need to rely a lot on the coax to do it. But now with monolayer, it's possible. Second is, what if you need a better optical film? Because monolayer is always very challenged with optical. So this is where, in the past, we do not have that portfolio. And I said earlier, past 6 months, we have a newly launched 7016, where we do see a value chain when they incorporate this solution, they are able to improve their optical, while at the same time, the film functionality is being met. Yep. So ultimately, I would say that these two aspects, as an example, I think there has been a step forward in terms of how can we be a better partner for those who have monolayer line.
Right. Thank you. Another question, since we have time. How do you work with clients in this kind of project? Like how do you go in and do the extrusion together, or how do you kick off a project improvement with your clients?
I think I like this question a lot. because it shows us beyond just transactional. Because for we being the largest polyethylene producer in the world, is if you were to do it transactional, it's impossible to sell out the capacity at this moment. So for us, the approach will always be a dialogue. Okay, we will, because for us, we engage across the value chain. Like my job, I don't really just talk to a converter. I talk to brands and so on. Really identify, understand what will be the pain point. Eventually, we try to bring back to our research center and see how can we actually resolve the need. And eventually, with that, this build out some talking points on how can we better engage converters in a clinical way so that it drives more dialogue. Because we do not know what we have in terms of the problem until we reminded them in terms of the blind spot. Yeah. So I would say dialogue across the value chain work that we have always been in historically, and of course, coming years we will be doing more. Doubling down, yeah.
I like when you mention clinical way. That's Thank you so much, Nicholas. Thank you
Thank you,
again.
Ms. Wee.
Right. So we are moving on to our next topic and the final topic of the day. Our next speaker is Mr. Marcel Bauer, Area Sales Manager of Reifenhauser Asia Pacific Company Limited. After finishing his Bachelor of Engineering, specialized in international technical sales management, Mr. Marcel Bauer joined Reifenhauser as a sales trainee and later become area sales manager for North America. After over 5 years working out of Germany, he moved to Thailand over a year ago to support the sales activities in Southeast Asia. Today, he will be discussing with us how to boost your performance in film extrusion. Mr. Marcel Bauer, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I hope you can see my shared screen already.
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Marcel Bauer. I'm the area sales manager of Reifenhauser Asia Pacific, and I'm very happy to talk today at the MPMA Plastech webinar about the topic Boost Your Performance in Blown Film Extrusion. So Boost Your Performance was also the slogan at the K for us. And this is about more output, more flexibility, but besides this, also about automated extrusion. So having more assistance, smart data, and innovative trainings so that together we can, like we heard this a lot during the webinar, be less dependent on unskilled workers and having more automation for less mistakes making. So for those who don't know, Reifenhauser is a family business successful for more than 100 years now. Here in the background, you can see the headquarters in Germany. And Reifenhauser is now in the 3rd generation. Actually, the 4th generation already joined. And worldwide, we have more than 1,750 employees. We call ourselves the extrusioneers, so everything is about extrusion, which I show you also real quick our portfolio besides blown film. And all our core components are in-house developed and manufactured. So we do the blown film lines, which we will focus on today. And besides this, we also do the flat films, so for sheet and cast, the nonwovens for the hygiene products mainly. And besides this complete lines, we do all the main components, like I said, in-house, like the screws and barrels, extruders, dies, and not only for us, so we also operate as an OEM for screws and barrels and the other parts. So Reifenhauser in Asia Pacific, we are also there since many years. Before with our headquarters in Singapore, now moved to Bangkok, Thailand since over 1 year now. And the reason is simple: to be closer to our customers and increase our staff. So we have there now invested more in sales and especially in service for technicians, for spare parts, and also for remote diagnostic to be troubleshooting in the same time zone. Before I go deep into the presentation, I want to show you a small video of the lines that we showed during the K on our open house. So this line here is our new generation that I want to also introduce you to. It's called the Evo Gen 3. So on the Evo Gen 3 here, you see we did run over 1,050 kilograms an hour with a die factor of 3. That means we run there with a die head, die insert of 350 millimeter and a lay flat of 1.8, running collation shrink and die factor of 3. So with a small die head, you can get this high output is very enormous value, because then also your carbon footprint looks much, much better and the energy consumption is also very low. On the second line here, we did run stretch hood films. So with a recycled content of 35%, PCR material from German household, and also very good profile value and output also very decent. And we run this here with a twin screw extruder. So in the core, we have a twin screw, so co-rotating two screws. And this is mainly used for better homogenization and mixture of the PCR material, because there we have different melt flow indexes and different densities. And on the skin, we have a normal single screw extruder for virgin material. Then on the third line, you see our Evo Ultra Stretch. This is our MDO line. Our MDO has here a unique position inside the takeoff unit. So we are stretching between the nib and the turner pass, which is also a patent. And here we achieve a stretching ratio of over 7. So we extrude with 100 micron film and stretch it down to 14 microns, what you can see here, and achieve this very unique value that's outstanding, and also helps you to come closer and be more competitive to PET, where it will be replaced for. So like I said, I want to talk today about our new line generation, which is called the Evo Gen 3. And the Evo Gen 3 we developed mainly because of the 3 topics and the 3 tasks, which is more a powerful line. So the high outputs that we saw also on the video, but also at the same time, we need the flexibility, because jobs are getting shorter. You have to run also PCR inside or PRR. So you have to change the jobs fast, be flexible, and also flexible on that. Yes. Then being smart also, so the machine should be easy to operate, what we heard also many times now. So we have new automation inside, and besides that, digital also. So having AI integrated as a chatbot for live troubleshooting, and also a high security level. That's now important. Also for the regulations, but also to be safe on your production. So on powerful, like you saw on the 5 layer, we showed over 1,050 kilograms an hour on a 350 millimeter die running collation shrink. But besides that, also on the other die heads, so 3, 5, 7, and 9, we developed new die heads design, mainly for running higher outputs. You can see this also on the barrier lines. but also being flexible at the same time. So to have the right choice always. I will focus a bit more on our 3-layer die head because I can't, for the timing, go into everything. So the 3-layer die head is a more compact design, which I will show you also. And there we can increase the output because we have this central IBC for getting a lot of air to the inside, and then by cooling from inside and outside at a high value, we can increase these outputs to these magic numbers. And by having the die head more compact in the design also means that the melt is shorter time in the die head, so we can have a much faster purchasing and product changes. And additionally, having the die head also smaller, it makes it easier to disassemble and assemble back together. So on the left side, you can see our old die head design. On the right, the new die head design. So you see the size reduced tremendously, over 40%. And by having the smaller die head, like I said, the melt is shorter time inside the die head, so you can have a fast job change. Here we're showing on this 3-layer die head a job change, purchasing from blue to transparent, for example, in less than 10 minutes, which is a very nice value that you can achieve. And this is done by having this smaller and compact die head. For the maintenance, of course, it's nice to have a smaller die head to disassemble, but also we have less pieces. So only 5 pieces that have to be put to be disassembled and assembled back together. And also, besides that, we reduce the amount of screws tremendously by over half of it than before. And this also helps to be faster on the disassembling and assembling back together. And now we have the long screws for a better counter hold to allow also the high pressures. For the high outputs, we also use our high performance cooling rings, the Karat Power Flow from K-Design, and K-Design now being in at the Reifenhäuser group. We also have our central freeze, which is the second cooling ring before the collapsing frame, which helps you to increase the output, but also helps to have less blocking and save on the blocks. So the newest developments on the K-Design air ring is also that we have a fully motorized lip adjustment, so that if you found your perfect setting, you can save it into your HMI and can be reducible by just pressing one button. And you have your golden run and you save it, and then it can be reducible, which is very nice. Like I said, the second cooling ring is also a nice feature for getting more output, but mainly to save on the alti-blocks and to overcome blocking issues. And here you can see, for example, this tool is also helping really to come down with the temperature. If you have, for example, a short height or the temperature is very high on the top, and you can overcome this by this tool. And this can be also set up your system in the HMI. So if you have your setup, can be also fully automatically adjusted. As K-Design also working as an OEM, but what is unique is the K-Design airing combined to our special IBC by Reifenhäuser, which has the conical shape, so being close to the bubble. And these technologies together brings you very high outputs. Then on the smart side, I want to show you our new HMI that we developed at Reifenhäuser, not only for the blown film, so this is completely redone for all our business units, so also on the sheet and the non-woven side. And the new HMI is the idea to make it easier for operators to access everything in just a few clicks. So here is a short video showing our HMI. Very intuitive and simple. And this, for example, is showing the overview where you can see the most important values from throughput, thickness, profile, but also seeing, for example, the percentage or where you are at your job at the moment. So here at 72%. And you know then, for example, how long it takes to do the next job. And on this page, we show also the assistants that are easy then to access. But if you don't like it, then this can be also customized. So if you go, for example, then to the, to an operator, to the operation mode, then you always see also on the right side the overview of throughput, thickness, and everything that was also seen on the overview page. Then what is also very nice is, for example, if an alarm goes in, then of course, first of all, you have to click on the alarm and then find out, okay, where does this alarm come from? And here on the production health check, you directly see where the alarm is coming from. So you see a lot of greens, but here, for example, 2 yellow dots on the takeoff unit and the corona treater. So the operator knows there is something. And besides having this integrated in our HMI, we also have the traffic lights on the components. So makes it very easy for the operator to see where the alarm is coming from. We have now, since many years, our so-called ultra-flat unit, I guess since now 10 years almost. And the ultra-flat is a annealing unit where you can flatten the film. So it works also between the nip rollers and turner spars. And there you adjust speed and temperature. So you stretch a bit, not really stretching, it's like a draw. For 1, 2, 3%. And then you first heat up a bit, like an iron, and then put some tension on it to get out the wrinkles, bagginess, and camber. And then you cool down to freeze the setting. And this helps, especially on the second process, after the extrusion on the converting side, to have an easier process on the printer and the laminator, and also higher speeds, and also save costs, for example, on the lamination for the glues. But the problem was always when we train the customers, then operators leave, the knowledge get lost. So they forget about the tool and how to set it up. So what we do now, we measure the flatness with a measuring device, with cameras. And by measuring it, we can also control it. So we have an auto control of the flatness, similar like the profile auto control. Everything can be now automatically adjusted, and you don't need an operator for this, specially trained and set up. Everything can be done by the system. Also we see this because we heard this before. The highest cost is about the material in the long-term run. So to minimize your material wastage is very important. And what we do on our system, we have to keep the dosing always on the material on a low level so that you don't overfill it, because then when you do a job change, then you need to drain a lot. This is the first point. And the second point, what we do is then on the automation system. So for example, if you change from one job to the other job, then we know exactly how much meters, for example, here is needed to finish the job. And then we just fill the right amount of resin inside, calculated by the system, and then it's very easy to put the next material inside so that you don't have a lot of wastage here. Yeah, here you can see also demonstrated this. The next thing is our restart system. So we see this more and more often to have a stop of the line. For example, if you run a lot of PCR materials, then you need to clean much more often the dye lips. You need to change the screens, and then you have a shutdown of the line. And what we do it in a controlled way to have a shutdown with just hitting one button. So then this is a controlled way of shutting down the lines. And then the nice thing comes now is to restart the line. So normally you have to manually adjust everything. So set up the extruder to the right speed, the blowers, to set the calibration cage to the right sizes, and also set up the calibration cage to the right back to the right cross line. But here everything will be done fully automatically. So here you can see the restart system now. So the bubble is blowing up. The extruder, for example, going up by the speed, the blowers, and also the airing here you see is slowly moving up. So you have a controlled ramp up. The airing is moving up. You saw the calibration cage gets bigger. So everything be done in a controlled automatic way, and the operator basically needs to do nothing than just checking and standing by. And here the job is done. On the digital side, I want to introduce you to our new business unit called Reifenhäuser Next. So this is a separate business unit combining all the knowledge about data and learning and AI together. And this is not only available for the blown film line, so also available for the other lines. And we can also make use, for example, of integrating competition lines or other lines. So here you see Next Data. So this is like our dashboard where we see, for example, multiple lines integrated in the dashboard. So you see here we have 6, 7, 8 lines, blown film lines and also cast lines. You see on one shot the overview. So for example, machine is down, machine is producing, yellow something, there might be some alarms. And you see the OEE value, for example, and with getting all this information in one screen, of course, is nice to get the information, but more important to make the analysis that you can make a smarter decision based on it. On the learning side, we have an overview of all the important videos together for training your operators. So this is not only for the production, also for maintenance about the material. So it's good for beginners, but also for advanced operators to keep the level high. And these videos is not only in English and German. So these videos are now also available in every language. So Malay, Chinese, everything is possible thanks to AI. So the third part is the next AI. So this one is a chatbot, which is very good for quick and instant troubleshooting. So if you have something on the line, you can directly troubleshoot. And the nice thing is also about this, the content is exclusivity from Reifenhäuser. So we put our know-how inside, and this is very good because so the AI can't learn from outsource. It's not connected to the internet. So meaning you can't ask for the weather. It won't give you an answer. Also don't know about which president is now active. So this one only gives you answers to what it knows, and it is about the content that we filled in. And all this system can be combined together. That's what I want to show you in a short video of this. So here you can see the chatbot looks similar to ChatGPT, for example, but the AI is fed by us, like I said, and not connected to the internet. Here you see also the line is connected to the system, so you see directly the output, and here you also see one alarm, and you can also directly click on the alarm to troubleshoot it. But now we ask the system, for example, what we can do against output variations, and then we get live answers here, 10 possible cases that can cause these problems. And then for sure we can dive deeper, but also if we don't understand it, we can also translate it in other languages. Unfortunately, not on this video, but we showed this also at the K live demos. As it's connected to the machine, we can ask for data out of the machine. And here, for example, we ask for the actual and the set values on the extruders, on the temperature zones. And here we see some difference, especially on extruder A. And this is giving you also the note that there is a difference. And now we ask, okay, what we do here, because we have this difference between set and actual. And then we get also again a troubleshooting. So these 5 things we should check to make it correct again. And as we all know, the operators don't like to read a lot of texts. It's nicer to have a video, so we can also get instantly a video out of it with the right explanation. Like I said, can be done in English, also other languages. And here now we see a live video for troubleshooting here the set of the extruder temperature zones. Yeah, so this is possible all with the AI, and I try to make it not too long and keep it interesting. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to answer your questions now, or in case you also want to ask me later, you can scan my profile and ask your questions at a later point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wa. I personally wish I can hear more. Very interesting. The tremendous speed that you brought, and then especially Reifenhauser Next, looking at how AI is being incorporated into the machine. So I would like to know about Reifenhauser Next, the AI. So this is together with the machine. It's an add-on.
We say that we bring the chatbot into the machine that you can try it. But this is just a chatbot, and if you want to have it connected to the machine, you also need a device. This would be an add-on, and then at a later point, we work with subscription modules so that we can also work on this and make the AI bigger and put more information inside. So this will be updated constantly.
So as you said, this is like ChatGPT. So if it is not connected to the machine, if it is something that the I don't know, the supervisor is experiencing and it's nothing to do with whatever he's experiencing now, is this chatbot also available for like how we use ChatGPT?
Yeah. I mean, for sure, it can be used similar way like ChatGPT, but only specialized on the extrusion part. Why I said can be connected or not connected to the machine means you can also use the system, for example, for other lines. So because, for example, if you have a problem with profile tolerances, this is not unique to only one machine. So this you can also use for other machine for troubleshooting. But for sure, when you have connected it to the machinery, then you get much better answers and live troubleshooting.
All right, thank you. How about this ultra flat technology? This ultra flat technology is not on the extrusion machine. It is on an offline before you print or before you laminate.
No, our
I-
ultra flat is integrated in the takeoff unit, similar like our MDO. So it's like a mini MDO, you can say it, with 4 additional rollers and 4 additional speeds and temperature units that can be adjusted each roller. And yeah, so it's integrated in the line. But this is also an option as we don't see the needs for every application.
So ultra flat is making the film flatter. How do you explain that versus the thickness? It's different or it's
It's different, yes. It's a good question. Always hard to explain. But if you, for example, look at the paper, is perfect thickness from left to right. But if I do this, then we see we have a not flat paper. Yes. But the thickness is still the same. And that's what we do on the ultra flat. So we eliminate the wrinkles. And like I said, because we see it's not so easy to adjust it. You need some skills. You need to be trained. But as operators change, unfortunately, we made this now fully automatically for measuring and controlling.
right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bauer. I personally learned so much and quite amazed, knowing that all these are available. And one last question.
Yes.
I don't assume this is available for non-Reifenhäuser customer.
The ultra flat?
No,
Or-
the AI.
The AI, like I said, you can use in principle for troubleshooting, but not connected, yes. But yeah, let's see how we will develop this more and more.
Okay,
Thank you.
right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ball, again. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our sessions. Thank you all. Thank you to all presenters for sharing, generously sharing their expertise, and thank you so much for your participation. I'm not sure whether we have any more questions to answer. No, I think now I will pass it back to Crystal.
Thank you, Ms. Wee, and to all our speakers for the very informative session on next-gen blown film solutions. So before we close, we'll be conducting a very quick poll. It will only take 1 to 2 minutes of your time. So we kindly ask the remaining attendees here in the webinar to quickly key in your answer. Very straightforward questions. This is for us to gain feedback from you for MPMA to improve our future webinars. So please get your answers in. We have 13% already answered. Let's aim for 50 as of now, 50%, 17%. Keep your answers coming in. While we wait for your response to us, I would also like to share and remind all of you to join us again this Thursday on the 27th of November 2025 at 10 a.m. for our final Plastech Month session on regulations and compliance requirements. So that session you'll be hearing from some of our speakers from the government as well as private sector, sharing with you the challenges within the industry, especially related to ESG. So let's get back to the poll. We have 40% answered. Keep your answers coming. Let's hit 50 if we can. 44%. We need maybe a couple of you to couple more of you to key in your answers. We are still at 44. $47, all right, that's good. Let's give it another minute. Any more attendees would like to share your views via the poll, please do so. Okay, we're at 47 still, close to 50. It's okay, we'll take what we have then. So once again, thank you very much to all of you for staying throughout today's webinar. We hope that you learned and gained new knowledge. So again, we look forward to see you this Thursday at 10 a.m. for our final Plastech session. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you.